Shortly after the beginning of the freshman year at university, my new roommate secretly took my mobile phone and took selfies when I was not around. She even sent the selfies to my online dating partner and attached a message saying, "Honey, do you think I'm beautiful?" Soon, my boyfriend sent back a big question mark. Immediately following that, he sent a voice message, cursing viciously. "Just the thought of being in a relationship with your face makes me feel sick. Let's break up. You ugly woman, get as far away from me as possible." When I came back after taking a shower, I intended to explain things to my boyfriend, only to find that I had been blocked by him. At that moment, my roommate, holding her own mobile phone, said to me with a smug look on her face, "A live streamer on Changyue added me and said he wants to have an online relationship with me." I took a closer look at that account, and to my surprise, it was none other than my ex-boyfriend, who had just broken up with me. After taking a shower, I walked towards the desk and picked up the mobile phone placed on it. When I unlocked the screen, what greeted my eyes was a series of inexplicable insults from my online dating boyfriend, and he firmly insisted on breaking up with me. Filled with confusion, I scrolled up to check the chat history, and was shocked to see my roommate's eyesore selfies. In those photos, her face was incredibly large, greasy enough to reflect light, and her head was covered with shiny pimples. When she opened her mouth, there were remnants of chili peppers hanging on her yellowish teeth. The sight almost made me throw my phone away, and my stomach churned violently. In a state of great anxiety, I quickly tried to explain to my boyfriend that it wasn't me, but the page showed that I had been blocked and deleted by him. Feeling angry and annoyed, I turned around and questioned my roommate Feng Shui. "How could you touch my mobile phone without my permission? Who allowed you to send those photos randomly?" Feng Shui rolled her eyes and replied impatiently, "With your ordinary face, how could you possibly attract a man? I was being kind enough to help you by using my photos, and you don't even appreciate it." I was simply speechless. My face, back in middle school, at least ranked among the top 10 beauties in the selection on Dianping. Feng Shui wasn't originally that ugly since she became a platform live streamer. In order to cater to the tastes of those curious viewers, she deliberately made herself look more and more exaggerated. Strangely enough, in the live streaming room, a group of people kept praising her as a great beauty. I was in a state of restlessness, and was pondering how to explain things clearly to my boyfriend. Although we were in an online relationship, in fact, I knew his real identity. My boyfriend's name was Su Tsong, a handsome junior student from the neighboring University of Science and Technology. He worked as a music live streamer on Changyue, and his singing was truly wonderful. I had originally tried my best to get admitted to this city, just because I had listened to his songs. Unexpectedly, by chance, I posted a song I sang myself on the platform, and he took the initiative to add me as a friend, saying that he thought my voice was particularly beautiful. After chatting back and forth, we talked for a whole night. After learning that I was a student from a nearby university, the next day, we established a romantic relationship. I had originally planned to go to him and give him a big surprise at the music festival jointly organized by universities this month. But now I ended up being blocked and broken up with. While I was feeling extremely disappointed, Feng Shui suddenly jumped up in excitement and shouted, "My male god added me. He said he wants me to be his girlfriend." Hearing this, I looked over out of curiosity. To my great surprise, that familiar account was none other than my boyfriend Su Tsong, who had just broken up with me. Feng Shui's account on Changyue didn't have a profile picture, only some songs she sang herself. Her voice was of the sweet and cute type, completely different from my neutral and cold voice. Su Tsong, having just broken up with me, was already in a hurry to find another partner? His actions really left me astonished. His luck was incredibly good. He actually found the person in the photo so quickly. Without saying a word, Feng Shui tore off her clothes, and her flabby flesh jiggled wildly. I thought she was going to take a shower, but instead, she just changed into pajamas and walked out of the dormitory, casually stuffing her underwear under the pillow. I was left stunned by this series of actions. I knew in my heart that she was going to the corridor to sing in an affected voice again. Sure enough, after a while, Feng Shui came back and asked Su Tsong on the other end of the phone coquettishly, "Brother, did I sing well just now?" Su Tsong's voice sounded breathless, full of praise. "Baby, your voice is so sweet. It has a unique attraction for may want to set your voice as my sleep aid music." Then, there came a series of ambiguous moans. I felt as if my ears were being polluted. After a long while, the two of them reluctantly hung up the phone. Feng Shui said with a look of regret, "It's a pity that brother Su Tsong still doesn't know that I'm also a big online celebrity. I'll tell him on the day of the music festival and give him a surprise. I really can't wait to see what kind of expression Su Tsong will have that day." As night fell, Feng Shui started her nighttime live stream. It was really a case of meeting an enemy, by chance while I was applying a facial mask, I casually opened my mobile phone video and stumbled upon her live streaming room. On the screen, Feng Shui was wearing a pair of black silk stockings. Her flabby flesh was squeezed into layers, looking like a series of swimming rings. Her cleavage was quite deep, but her skin was dark. I can't even remember when the last time she took a shower was. I saw her twisting her plump body, using a dominatrix voice changer, and saying in a sweet voice, "Brothers, it's so hot today despite the heat. Schwer here is still insisting on live streaming for you today. You all must send me big rockets, or I won't perform for you." The live streaming room was crowded with people, and it was inevitable that some nearby people would stumble upon it. At this time, an account with an anime avatar posted, "The address of the live streamer is actually only 6 kilometers away from me. I'm going to take a screenshot and ask if anyone knows this live streamer." Out of curiosity, I clicked on that anime avatar and checked the profile. I found that the school he was from was exactly the university where Su Tsung studied. Being extremely disgusted by Feng Shui's live stream content, I quickly closed the video and planned to listen to some music to relax. As soon as I went online, I saw a new message, which consisted of 2 screenshots of Feng Shui's live stream, with the caption, "She has a dominatrix voice and knows how to have fun," judging from the address. I guess she's from the neighboring Conservatory of Music. Maybe she'll participate in this music festival. 3. Su Tsung liked and commented below, still thinking that Feng Shui was me. "Dear voice control babies, don't be deceived by this ugly woman. She also has an account on Changyue." The following replies were, "This fatso is really disgusting. It's revolting to look at. Thanks for the reminder." Su Tsung sent me a message through the account. "Don't let me meet you at the music festival, or you'll bear the consequences." I unfollowed him and blocked Su Kong. I sneered as I looked at Feng Shui, who was flattering the audience under my bed. She was still immersed in the teasing in the live streaming room. Anyone who cursed her as disgusting and ugly was blocked and kicked out of the live streaming room by the little steward. Feng Shui always thought she was a beauty, a unique beauty. At this moment, a connected mic big brother gave an instruction. "Baby Schwer, crawl like a bear for me, and I'll reward you with 5 true love roses." As soon as Feng Shui heard this, her eyes lit up, and she immediately started to imitate. When she got down on all fours, her plump buttocks, with 2 dark tattooed marks, and her black stockings were on the verge of bursting. After crawling all over the dormitory, she was out of breath. She had successfully pleased this big brother. The big brother lavishly gave a carnival. "I'll come to watch your live stream at 10 o'clock every day from now on. You perform for me." Feng Shui nodded and sent the big brother off with a big smile, then ended the live stream. Tonight, she had made a fortune. Feng Shui said triumphantly. "Unlike some people, who still need their families to give them living expenses at university, I'm both beautiful and hardworking." I couldn't help but ask, "Do you really think you're beautiful?" Feng Shui snorted coldly and said disdainfully, "Are you saying that someone as scrawny as you is a beauty? You're not even a real woman." She touched her breasts. "Look, I have such a prominent cleavage without even squeezing. Those men are crazy about me. Otherwise, why would they squat in my live streaming room every night?" I was so shocked that I couldn't speak. I quickly closed my eyes to sleep, fearing that I would have a nightmare at night. 4. The next morning, I was in a hurry to catch the 8 a.m. class. Feng Shui was still lying sprawled on the bed. After hesitating for a while, I decided to remind her, "There's still class in the morning. Get up quickly." Feng Shui threw off the quilt and turned over, creating a strange stench. Turning her head towards the wall, she said to me impatiently, "Just say I'm sick and ask for a leave for me." I looked at the time and stopped caring about her. In the new semester, the classes she attended were few and far between. When I arrived at the classroom, my classmate Zhang Min told me, "Chu Shui, are you signing up for this music festival? I heard that there are many handsome guys from the neighboring University of Science and Technology participating." I nodded, not for men, but for my own hobby. "I love singing and never miss every stage." Zhang Min asked, "Then have you chosen a song?" I thought of the several songs I had chosen before and told her, "I'll think about it again." The song I had originally decided on was for confessing my love to Su Kong. Now it's not very suitable, so I have to change it. I went online to choose a song again. My account was bombarded with 99 plus messages. I found that there was also a message from a strange account. "Damn ugly woman, you dare to block me. Watch me expose your account and make you unable to stay on Changyue." It was Su Tsung's alt account. I scrolled through my past works, and there were mama comments below. "Ugly woman, if you can't find a man, don't listen to music and daydream. You're always using your voice to seduce people. How disgusting. I thought such a voice belonged to a great beauty. It turns out to be a fatso. I really want to vomit." I pulled Su Tsung out of the blacklist. I saw his newly posted content. "This is the ugly woman's account from yesterday. She sent me harassing photos before. I hope everyone is careful. She's from the Conservatory of Music. If she dares to show up at this music festival, we must teach her a lesson. Sutsung didn't dare to say that he had an online relationship with me. He was afraid of losing face, so he said that I harassed him. A group of his brainless fans flooded my comment section. At first, I explained that Sutsung had mistaken me, but they didn't believe me at all. Please don't discuss my brother, okay? Please get out of here. More and more people warned me not to show up at the music festival, or they would make me pay. I was so angry that I deleted the software. 5. After a day of study, I returned to the dormitory to rest. When I opened the door, a foul smell hit me in the face. The litter on the ground made it impossible for me to set foot. I looked up and was startled. Feng Shui was sitting naked at the desk, putting on makeup. My anger flared up and I questioned her. Why aren't you wearing clothes? These take out garbage are thrown everywhere. Can't you clean up? Feng Shui frowned and said in a shrill voice. What are you shouting about? I'll deal with it later. Her phone was on speaker, and Sutsung's voice came out. Baby, who is it? This voice is so familiar. Feng Shui quickly complained. It's my roommate Chu Shui. She bullies me as soon as she comes back. Sutsung was puzzled. Chu Shui? Shui. Feng Shui was angry and patted the table. Why are you calling a strange woman so affectionately? Sutsung hurriedly explained, no baby. My roommate said that there's an ugly woman from your school, who seems to be called Shui. I've also seen the photo. She's really ugly. If it's really her, then she's not only ugly but also bad. Baby, you must stay away from her. Only then did Feng Shui calm down. My roommate is really ugly. So you all know about it. Sutsung suddenly gave a lewd smile. Baby, that ugly woman said you're talking to me on the phone without clothes on. Will that ugly woman feel ashamed when she sees your beautiful figure, and then be jealous of you? Feng Shui didn't care. She should be quite inferior. But I can't help it if she's jealous of me. Sutsung's voice trembled. Baby, can you take a photo of yourself for me now? Feng Shui smiled shyly. You rascal, you're so lustful. Don't worry. I'll prepare a huge surprise for you at this music festival. Sutsung was a little disappointed. Okay, but now when I hear your voice, I can already imagine how hot my baby's figure is. It's really making me can't help it. There was a rustling sound of tissue wiping from the other side. I was speechless. Had it been 3 minutes? 6. Unable to stand the pile of garbage, after she finished the call, I had already cleaned up. Feng Shui raised her eyebrows. It's not that I didn't do it. You just didn't wait for me. I snorted. Mopping the floor is still left for you. She frowned and muttered. There aren't so many rules. I forced her to clean. If you don't mop the floor, then I'll tell the counselor that you faked being sick to ask for leave. She stamped her feet angrily. When I saw Feng Shui picking up the basin on the ground to pour water onto the mop, I hurriedly stopped her. What kind of water is this? Feng Shui replied. Of course it's the water for washing my fragrant and soft little feet. I was surprised. How can foot washing water be used to mop the floor? It will breed bacteria. Feng Shui pouted, with her lip gloss shining. But my foot washing water is very clean. I couldn't communicate with her, so I could only ask her to pour out the foot washing water and not use it. Forget it, forget it. I'll mop the floor. You go and rest. She turned around unhappily and sat down. Then hurry up. I'm about to start the live stream. I really wanted to punch her to death, but considering her weight, forget it. 7. I heard Feng Shui's affected voice again. She had changed to a cute girl voice changer today. The anime avatar user spoke up immediately, so even your dominatrix voice was fake. I'm going to tell my roommate. Feng Shui looked shy. A girl's voice is very private. I can only let my dear boyfriend hear it. Babies, don't be jealous. The people in the live streaming room didn't care at all, and urged her to start today's performance. Feng Shui really enjoyed the way these people were anxious for her. The top spender big brother hasn't come yet. You can assign some small tasks. Just post them randomly. At this moment a rocket was sent. I want to see you wash your underwear. When I heard this, I couldn't help but laugh. It was really a good idea. She really should wash her underwear. Feng Shui turned around and took out several pairs of underwear from under the pillow. I almost vomited. Feng Shui held these blackened and yellowed underwear and asked, Babies, which one do you want to see? Send a rose for the strawberry, patterned one. And send a heart for the bear, patterned one. In the end the heart patterned one won. Feng Shui fetched a basin of clear water. I felt that she was wasting the water. Then she took out a blackened soap that she hadn't used for God knows how long. Babies, this is the soap for washing my fragrant and soft body. The soap was soaked for a while, and the dirt on it hadn't been soaked off before she took it out. Feng Shui pinched the underwear with 2 fingertips and stirred it in the water. My little hand is so tired. Her short and stubby fingers fished out the underwear, and the water had turned black. Okay, the task is completed. What else do you want to see, brothers? I felt so nauseous that I couldn't help but go to the toilet and vomit. At this time, I received a message from Zhang Min. Chu Shui, there are some negative remarks about you online. It might be a misunderstanding, but when I explained to them, no one believed me. There are so many of them that my comments were drowned out. I opened the screenshot she sent. Soo Sung had posted something against me again. The ugly woman is called Chu Shui. She's not only disgusting in appearance, but also uses a voice changer. I don't know how she got into the Conservatory of Music. There must be something fishy. My girlfriend is also from this school, and is the ugly woman's roommate. She told me that the ugly woman often bullies her. As a man, I can't let my girlfriend live with such a person. Please help me resist her participation in this music festival. It would be best to expel her from the Conservatory of Music. As a senior, Soo Sung was an important figure in this music festival, and many people would believe his words. I believe my reputation in his school was even worse. Zhang Min tried to explain for me. Chu Shui is very beautiful and has great strength. Please don't misunderstand. Her comments were either chased and cursed by a group of people, so she had to delete them, or they just sank to the bottom, and no one paid attention. 8. At that moment I received a phone call. As soon as I answered, I was verbally abused. Finally, the other party warned me not to sign up for the music festival, or else they would teach me a lesson. After hanging up in a hurry, I checked my contact list and found that my phone had blocked many harassing calls. Soon, my phone kept vibrating with various calls coming in. I had no choice but to turn it off. I wondered how my phone number had been leaked. Because of Soo Sung, I thought of Feng Shui. I rushed out of the toilet, turned off Feng Shui's live stream, and questioned her. Why did you leak my phone number? You clearly know that your boyfriend doesn't like me, and you still help him bully me. Feng Shui was originally guilty, her eyes dodging. Seeing that I interrupted her live stream, she angrily slapped my hand away. Why did you turn off my live stream? I'm about to connect with my big brother at 10 o'clock. Bullying is just being said a few words. What's the big deal? My hand was slapped red. I looked at her coldly. If your boyfriend continues to prevent me from participating in the music festival, gather people online to bully me, and interfere in my private life, I will call the police. Feng Shui frowned. Is it that serious? You still want to call the police? Fine. I'll tell him to withdraw the messages. If you weren't ugly, why would they hate you so much? I sneered. Is it possible that they don't hate me? You can't take the internet as reality. Stop satisfying the perverted and curious minds online every day and study hard. Feng Shui only thought I was jealous of her. You just can't stand that they like me. You skinny and ugly woman. I tried to persuade her. Do you know that your boyfriend and I had an online relationship and then broke up? And then he got together with you right away. He's not a good person. Feng Shui had an understanding look. So you did seduce my boyfriend. Are you so desperate for a man that you flirt with anyone? I was so angry that my head was dizzy. She was hopeless. I turned around to wash up and prepare to rest well. I still had to go practice singing tomorrow, and seize every opportunity to be in the best state for the music festival. After 10 o'clock, Feng Shui started connecting with her spending big brother again. I pulled up the bed curtain to avoid seeing it. This time the spender didn't ask for tasks. He asked Feng Shui to meet him privately. Feng Shui was a bit hesitant. She was judging whether the other person would pester her when they saw her beauty. After the spender sent 3 carnivals in a row. Feng Shui excitedly nodded and agreed. She told him that she was studying at the Conservatory of Music and could meet on the night of the music festival at the end of this month. My heart trembled, and I had a sense of foreboding. 9. Before the music festival, a popularity ranking was released. Soo Sung was third, and second was his girlfriend Feng Shui, whom he promoted as beautiful and having a sweet voice. First was Meng Hele, who had always topped the list. He was said to be a senior from the University of Science and Technology, who was doing an internship. He was as good-looking as a star. My name was actually ranked 4th. The reason was that many people wanted to see the ugly looking me make a fool of myself without a voice changer. Everyone has a curious mind. Hearing that Feng Shui, the second-ranked person, was from our school, the classmates were very confused. Is there such a person? I don't seem to have seen her. Could she be a great beauty? Wow, I'm really looking forward to this music festival. I trained alone in silence. It was not long after the start of the semester, and my professional level was not as good as that of the seniors and seniors. My musical skills were not as proficient as theirs either. For this music festival, I had to make more preparations and practice. First, I sang a sweet song to warm up. A passing classmate took out his phone to record a video. I frowned and said unhappily, "Classmate, please respect my privacy, okay?" He quickly apologized, and then left in a hurry. I had no intention of pursuing it, and Jin Shurjan practiced. The song I really wanted to sing was a folk song. In the evening, when I returned to the dormitory, I planned to take a shower and then rest quickly. Because if I paid a little more attention to Feng Shui, she would take advantage. She would ask me to get this or that. I'm not her servant. She was on the phone with Soo Sung again. The voice was on speaker, and her tone was sticky. Baby, my friend went to the freshman classroom today, and saw you practicing singing. He guessed it was you at a glance, because that sweet voice was the same as I described. It's so nice. He also said that you are super beautiful in person, although I already guessed it. Is this song for the music festival? Feng Shui was originally a bit confused. She never went out, so where did she go to practice? But under Soo Sung's praise after praise, she couldn't say no. She also coyly told Soo Sung, actually, I was just singing casually. I'll perform better for you at the music festival. She and Soo Sung were being affectionate, and were discussing those indecent topics again. I wished I could buy a soundproof bed curtain. 10. On the day of the concert, Feng Shui got up early, which was rare. She couldn't squeeze out any lotion after squeezing for a long time. Before I could react, she actually put her hand into my skincare products. Before I could stop her, she scooped out a lump. I could only stare in shock at the 4 black fingerprints left on the skincare product. I frowned and gave her the whole bottle. Take it. I don't want it anymore. Feng Shui took it without hesitation. Don't think that bribing me will make me go easy on you at the music festival. I asked her helplessly. You sleep during the day and live stream at night. Do you have time to practice singing? Feng Shui said proudly. With my high-quality voice, where do I need to practice? Didn't you hear my boyfriend praise my voice? He can only fall asleep listening to my voice. When he hears my voice, he can even get aroused. Of course, it's not just effective for him. You Ginbun don't understand how attractive my voice is to men. I looked at her like she was mentally retarded. She was really self-indulgent. After Feng Shui finished putting on makeup, I could hardly recognize her. She was even more terrifying than when she was live, streaming. The foundation on her face was like snow covering the ground. The pimples on her face were like the skin of a toad. Her lips were painted with Death Barbie pink, and her 2 bushy eyebrows were dancing. This is the makeup that my online friends love the most. I wouldn't wear it if it weren't for the carnival. She shook her dry and messy hair, and in the sunlight dandruff flew up. I was terrified. How did such a person survive? Maybe she also felt that her hair was too dry. Feng Shui reached up and wiped the upper part of her back. Then she wiped her hair. The oil produced by this beauty's body can protect my delicate skin, and it can just be used as hair conditioner. Do you want me to share some with you? I was so shocked that I screamed and ran out of the dormitory. I was so disgusted that I vomited up everything I ate last night. 11. When I was waiting for Zhang Min in the classroom, I was still shocked by Feng Shui's behavior. Zhang Min saw that I was pale, and thought I was nervous. She comforted me, don't worry. You will definitely get a good ranking. Just perform as you usually do. I nodded, took a deep breath and calmed down. The joint organized university music festival had a scoring and ranking mechanism. The judges were music talents selected from each school. Meng Hele, the top-ranked person in popularity, was among them. His voice was very clear and nice. He read out the names of our contestants. When he read Feng Shui's name, everyone was curious, and the campus of the University of Science and Technology in the distance was even more excited. People from other schools asked curiously what was going on. They said proudly, she's the girlfriend of our senior Su Kong. She's said to be super beautiful, and have an extremely nice voice. Hearing that there was a beauty, everyone was very excited. The people in our school were also very curious. After all, it had been so long since the start of the semester, and they hadn't seen Feng Shui. When my name was called, there was a booing sound from the University of Science and Technology. Alas, she's a fat and ugly woman. She's extremely disgusting, and her voice is faked with a voice changer. Everyone protect your eyes. At this time, Feng Shui squeezed over, stood next to me, held the phone, and said in a shrill voice, "Baby, I'm here. Watch my competition. I've prepared a surprise for you." Soo Sung smiled indulgently. "Okay, baby. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm also very much looking forward to seeing what expression Soo Sung will have when he sees her." Feng Shui complained about me. "Chu Shui, why didn't you wait for me?" I ignored her and only heard Soo Sung's angry voice on the phone. "Baby, is that ugly woman standing next to you? She actually dared to come and participate. I must teach her a lesson later. Don't stop me." Feng Shui replied coquettishly, "Okay, baby. You're so manly." She looked at me. "My boyfriend just loves me too much. He knows I was bullied by you and insists on standing up for me. You can sacrifice a little for our love." I had indeed sacrificed a lot because of their love. I was almost disgusted to death. But no matter how I explained on the phone, Soo Sung and the others wouldn't believe me. And I didn't want to send them photos. It was too disgusting. Sitting for a while and watching the performance, Feng Shui complained. "These women sing terribly. They're all so skinny, as if they haven't eaten. I'm going to the restroom. Chu Shui, watch my stuff. Remember to remind me when it's almost my turn." I nodded and focused on the show. I didn't notice the disdainful glances from a group of people when they saw Feng Shui leave. 12. They followed Feng Shui. and dragged her into the men's restroom outside. This fatso is so heavy. If it weren't for so many of us, we couldn't have moved her. But it's still quite strenuous even with a lot of people. Feng Shui was horrified. How dare you covet my beauty in broad daylight? What do you want? I'm still an innocent girl. The leading man slapped her. Shut up. Who would fancy you? Brothers, teach her a lesson first, and then let her go to the competition. Let's see how she makes a fool of herself. Although Feng Shui had thick skin, after being punched and kicked by several men, her face was like a pallet. These people from the University of Science and Technology ran away after the beating. When Feng Shui limped back, I thought she had fallen into the latrine. She cried and said that she had been dragged into the men's restroom and beaten by a group of people. If it weren't for seeing her bruises all over, I would have doubted this statement. Who could drag her around? Chu Shui, look, my makeup has come off. It really affects my performance. I thought she was going to give up the competition, but she said, lend me your makeup. I'm still going to amaze the audience. With a clear conscience, I advised her to go back and rest. Feng Shui angrily questioned me. Are you afraid that I'll steal your thunder? We're roommates, for goodness sake. She directly snatched my bag and took the cosmetics. She used my powder to cover the bruises, wincing in pain. Feng Shui insisted on asking me if she looked good. I endured the discomfort in my eyes and said, you look great. Maybe you can even make this makeup trend popular. It can be called the Scar Beauty Makeup. Only then was Feng Shui satisfied. When the host announced Feng Shui's name, it is said that this is a beauty from our Conservatory of Music, the girlfriend of Su Tsong, a talented musician from the University of Science and Technology. According to friends who have seen her, she really lives up to her name. Her voice is as pure as snow, and her appearance is as flawless as snow. With the atmosphere building up, everyone's anticipation reached its peak. 13. Feng Shui sang a line in a shrill voice behind the stage. The audience shouted, Goddess, Goddess. At this moment it felt as if the stage was shaking. Before everyone could react, they were stunned by Feng Shui's appearance. Su Tsong was furious. What's going on? Why is this ugly woman here? Chu Shui, where did you hide Feng Shui? The people around pulled Su Tsong down. Although the host was surprised, he promptly stopped Su Kong. Please don't disrupt the stage order. The host asked Feng Shui, may I ask who you are? Feng Shui said in a pitiful and shrill voice, I'm Feng Shui. Chu Shui is my roommate, baby. Why don't you recognize me? How could you mistake me for an ugly woman? Su Tsong was so angry that he almost fell. His eyes were full of rage. He probably wanted to rush onto the stage and tear Feng Shui apart. Under the host's protection, Feng Shui continued to perform. She lost control of her voice for a moment, and her thick voice came out. Coupled with her stout figure, she turned from Lin Daiyu into Lu Jishan. Feng Shui's face turned red all of a sudden, not because of the voice break, but because she confessed her love to Su Tsong in full view of the public. Su Tsong, I love you just like a mouse loves rice. Everyone couldn't help laughing. Su Tsong, is this the precious girlfriend you've been thinking about? Your taste is quite unique. You two play some interesting games. Some people even cursed him. Damn it, I was looking forward to it in vain. I thought she was really a beauty. Su Tsong blushed with shame in the face of everyone's ridicule, wishing he could disappear on the spot. When my name was called, he finally looked up, full of astonishment. This is Chu Shui, a great beauty. Is there something wrong with Su Tsong's eyes? I picked up the microphone and started singing softly. The melodious melody flowed smoothly. The whole audience was quiet, listening to my singing. When I finished, there was thunderous applause. Oh my god, this is comparable to a singer. It's so nice. From now on, I'm a die-hard fan of Chu Shui. This is a live mic performance and it's so stable. I love it. In the judge's seat, Meng Hele looked at me deeply. Would you like to join my studio and be my lead singer? Everyone sighed. Senior Meng is so suspenseful. I thought he was confessing. This is more useful than a confession. Senior Meng is backed by a big entertainment company. Isn't a future more important than love? I nodded. I'm interested. Meng Hele's lips curved up. 14. Under the teasing gazes of everyone, Su Tsong directly gave up the competition. Finally, I won the first place. When I came down from the stage with the trophy, unexpectedly, Su Tsong was still there. He stopped me. Can we talk? I looked at him coldly. There's nothing to talk about. We have no relationship. Su Tsong subconsciously said, no, you were originally my girlfriend. It was all a misunderstanding that made me lose you. The harm I caused you before was not my intention. The person I really love is you. Feng Shui came running, her body shaking. Su Tsong, what are you talking about? Are all the days we spent together fake? Su Tsong was angry with her at this time and directly cursed. It's all your fault, you bitch. You usually provoke me against Chu Shui, saying that she bullied you and treated you badly. That's why I stood up for you. At this moment Meng Hele came over, only knowing how to shift the blame. You're really not a man. In front of Senior Meng, Su Tsung didn't dare to say a word and ran away in fear. Chu Shui, I really love you. I'll come back. The abandoned Feng Shui wanted to vent her anger on me, but was stopped by Meng Hele. Her flabby body was no match for Meng Hele's trained muscles. Her twisted wrist made her beg for mercy and pain. Meng Hele warned her, if you ever try to do anything to Chu Shui again, I'll show you what I'm capable of. After saying that, he left with his assistant. Feng Shui said to me viciously, what's so great about that pretty boy Su Tsung? I don't even like him. I'm going to meet my top spender big brother tonight. Money is more fragrant than love. I frowned and reminded her, you'd better not meet a stranger from outside the school alone. There may be danger. Feng Shui gave me a disdainful look. You're just jealous of me. You can't stand me getting rich. The top spender big brother has spent so much money on me. How could he harm me? Do you want to accompany me and then seduce my top spender big brother? She didn't understand that men don't treat women well for no reason. The more they pay, the more useful the person is to them. You can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. I won't go. Take care of yourself. 15. In the middle of the night, Feng Shui still hadn't come back. I couldn't bear the guilt and called the police. During the conversation, I suspected that the top spender big brother was the culprit. After providing the clues, the police quickly dispatched because Feng Shui belonged to a vulnerable group prone to abduction. A week later, the police investigated an illegal freak circus, and Feng Shui was among them. It turned out that the so-called top spender big brother was the circus master. He abducted people with strange appearances everywhere, and transformed them into animals for performances. Feng Shui was one of the targets he had his eyes on. She had no relatives or friends in this city. She didn't attend classes at school, and neither the teachers nor the classmates had much impression of her. Just as the circus master had guessed, no one cared about Feng Shui's disappearance this time. Many people thought she was so ashamed that she took a leave of absence from school. Only I knew her. With her thick-skinned nature, she wouldn't be too hurt by the embarrassment at the music festival. When the circus master was caught, he was puzzled. I thought you were the one who hated her the most. After all, she stole your boyfriend and often spoke ill of you in the live streaming room. How could you stand her slovenly lifestyle? Of course I couldn't stand it. But it was no pity that Su Tsung was stolen by her. I didn't answer his words. None of these could be reasons to condone his crime. When Feng Shui was rescued, she was in a terrible state. Large areas of her skin, especially on her back and chest, were peeled off. While the new wounds were fresh, bear fur was attached. Her hair was shaved off, and a bear's scalp was put on. The stench attracted flies, and they even laid eggs in the rotting flesh quickly. She still wasn't wearing underwear, and was drooling as she performed for us. Don't hit me, don't hit me. She was already delirious. The accompanying doctor told me, in her condition, she may have to stay in the hospital for treatment for the rest of her life. Hearing that Feng Shui had been abducted and became disabled, Su Tsung found me. She really deserves it. Only this can make me vent my anger. I feel like vomiting just thinking about having been in a relationship with her. I looked at him with disgust. Is your love only based on others' appearances? Does mocking others give you a sense of achievement? Su Tsung felt uncomfortable under my gaze. Chu Shui, I was wrong before. Let's get back together, okay? We'll enter Senior Ming's studio together. With our musical talents, we will surely become famous all over the country. Sure enough, this was his real purpose. I snorted. Do you still have a chance? Which company would spend money to train a misbehaving artist? Don't forget about the school punishment you received for inciting cyberbullying. Su Tsung's face turned red with anger. He rushed up and grabbed my neck. But I'm a musical talent. No one can bury my talent. I felt like my eyeballs were about to burst and couldn't breathe at all. But he forgot that this was at school. And soon someone noticed his behavior. When Su Tsung was pulled away, I gasped for air. There were many witnesses. And this incident attracted the attention of the leaders of the two schools. The University of Science and Technology decided to expel Su Kong. I firmly refused to forgive him at the police station. Finally, Su Tsung was sentenced to 3 years. It was said that the delicate-skinned Su Tsung had a hard time in prison. And when his parents learned that Su Tsung was in prison, they directly gave up on him and prepared to have a second child. I looked at the account. Wasn't it my ex-boyfriend who had just broken up with me? 16. The following college days were short but wonderful. I became the lead singer of Meng Hele's band and held numerous concerts at home and abroad. Feeling the enthusiasm and love of the fans, I finally achieved my dream. In the psychiatric hospital, Feng Shui sat quietly in a chair. Her wounds had healed, leaving indelible scars. Feng Shui was sometimes lucid and sometimes crazy. No one from her family came to visit her, and she could only spend her remaining years alone in the hospital. Under my big screen, a homeless man who had just been released from prison covered his head and cried. In the cold winter, he dreamed of becoming a big name singer, and fell into eternal sleep.